Yep. Tangy.
Wow.
What's up, people? Welcome to another episode of Screen Printing Real Talk. Let's get into it.
Let's go.
I'm Ramon Jamal, and I'm sitting here with Rick Province from Ohio Ink Supply. And today we're going to talk about how to scale a screen printing business. That's right, baby. You gotta once you get it going, you gotta be able to scale it.
Yeah, how do you do it?
There's levels to this.
Oh yeah. I often get the question, people contact me all the time and somehow think that I got it all together.
Right.
I definitely don't. We're all learning together. But, I get the question all the time, like how does it, man, it seems like everything you touch just somehow turns to gold. How do you get all this business? How do you get the big jobs? What are you doing?
Rick Midas.
Yes. Well,
the Midas touch.
The Midas touch. No, man, we have our problems too, for sure. Right. But here's really the secret sauce. There's two main things. Designing a business that has a really good system. Mm-hmm. It's easy. It's well delivered. It's simple to understand. So it's real easy to understand. And then two is make it so it's scalable. So how do you scale it up without finding a ceiling? Okay. And I'll explain what I mean by that.
Okay.
But systems, so when you're designing a business, obviously your delivery is easy. For us artist types, our type A kind of artsy kind of people,
right?
It's easy for us to come up with a sweet logo, brand everything, and call it a business. Well, no, you need a system to kind of run the back end of how that's working. Mm-hmm. How are you going to receive the orders? How can you receive the orders consistently so that the information is in the same spot every time so that your team can properly execute that?
Right.
Or you can properly execute it until you get to a point where you have a team. Mm-hmm. And then how do you identify certain markets? I think the biggest, and maybe you can relate to this, but the biggest kind of temptation for all of us is you get business come through a gate all the time. Friends, families, church, your stylist, the hair, your mechanic. Mm-hmm. And once they find out that you're printing, they want shirts.
Right.
And so you say yes to everybody, and pretty soon you have this business that services everybody. And now you're kind of spinning years later saying, wow, I'm stressed. I'm working the weekends. I'm working 16 hours a day. Mm-hmm. How am I not or barely paying the bills?
Right.
And here's why. You have to learn to say no. Mm-hmm. You have to identify a market that makes sense to you. So when I'm talking to people about this very topic, I'm like, man, what do you like to do? Do you like cars? Do you like to go hunting? Do you like to fish? Do you enjoy makeup? If that's the thing that is most passionate about you, then target that specific niche.
Okay.
So not only does it help with focus and scalability, but it also helps with marketing too. Because now instead of spending ads in all these generic places, you can narrow that funnel and target specifically what you're after.
Okay.
If I'm a business that targets stylists, then I'm gonna pay for ads in stylists attracting magazines or publications or websites for that matter.
Right. Okay. And you're gonna hit up the salons and stuff like that. So that's your target audience.
That's it.
For your products. Yeah.
But here's where you gotta learn to say no, because Joe's Auto is gonna contact you and he's gonna say, hey man, I heard from your cousin Tony that you do shirts. And you got to be like, well, yeah, but we're specific to salons.
Okay.
Where we are a salon printer. Now, when you do that, you become known for that. So like us, not a secret for many of you, we own Ohio Screen as well. We're a contract screen printing business that we focus solely on other screen printers. So we exist for people like you. So if you get a job, for example, from your local college, and they want 60,000 units in 3 weeks, For the average screen printer, that would be overwhelming, and they just, no way. There's no way.
Right.
Well, our infrastructure is set up to accommodate that and kind of help you out.
Right.
Kind of tag team with you, and you can send it over to Ohio Screen, and we'll knock it out for you and put your name on the box, and you get all the credit. And that's our niche. So we've been able to, in a short amount of time, scale up considerably because we're targeting that specific niche market.
Cool.
And all of our systems internally accommodate that market. Mm-hmm. So it makes it very simple. Instead of trying to like please and satisfy everybody all at once.
That's honestly what I was thinking this whole entire time is that, you know, because, you know, I do shirts, but I order my stuff through you.
Yeah.
But I've been getting like people ordering from like all type of different, you know, businesses, different, you know, nonprofits, 5K races, schools.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Even, you know, people starting their own brand. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm getting business from a lot of different areas, but I'm not scaled to the point where I'm getting, you know, big orders from these individuals. But as I'm listening to you, I'm thinking to myself, that makes a lot of sense there, guys.
Exactly.
It does. I mean, you know,
dude, it's hard because I was there, man. I had
Right.
I had our provision, you know, and we serviced everybody and their grandma.
Right.
And we grew into a company that was extremely stressful. And even though I had a big staff and did a good business, it was very, very hard because it required me.
Right.
There was no system there. And if it requires me, then there's a ceiling. I'm only one person.
Right.
Or if it requires another person, then there's a cap to that scalability. You can only go so far.
Right.
So if you create an instruction manual for how every intricate piece and part of the business runs, then if one piece breaks, if the chain breaks, then you just put another link back in and you're back in business. You're good.
Right.
And it's easy to scale that way.
Right. And I like the point of, you know, yes, I've been a person to where it was like, I don't want to get pigeonholed into this, you know, certain, you know, niche, right? So I'm all over the place. I'll do shirts for any and everybody.
Yeah.
But really, if you want to scale though, I think having that niche makes sense, really.
Yeah, specialized for sure.
You're focusing on that specific, you know, group of individuals, and when you do your ads, you're targeting them, period. So
and you become well known. Not only if you're targeting that niche that you dig too, you're targeting people that you speak the lingo.
Right.
So you're more comfortable. It's more satisfying for yourself because now you're talking about the hair and the updos and all these and the makeup and whatever your niche is, you know.
Right.
The salon talk.
Okay.
And so, yeah, you even become kind of friends with these people. So it's easier to do business with them versus Sally Sue's mom that's pissed because you just gave her the wrong color pink.
Right.
You know.
Right.
So it's a fun way to do business.
Right.
And it's more successful. I had to learn that the hard way. Like I was saying, our provision, man, I was going to a business counseling at this place. Here in Akron area, they offer SCORE, which is a great resource, by the way. It's a nationwide organization, and they offer free business counseling. They have like established business people come in and kind of counsel younger startups and stuff, and it's all free. It's awesome.
Right.
So I was talking to my counselor that I had for years about this, and he was trying to get me to understand this very concept. And it's hard when you are already kind of committed, and you're like, well, this is at least paying the bills, but I don't know what it looks like this direction. Mm-hmm. So am I gonna take that risk and go again and see if it works out? But man, if you look at everybody, look at McDonald's, look at any of these, Chick-fil-A, these are restaurants because I'm hungry, but look at any of these, you know, McDonald's doesn't make tacos.
Burger King does.
Yeah. Do they really?
Dude, okay, we'll talk about that later.
Wow.
It's not good. I don't care. I'm just keeping it real.
Yikes.
So stay in your lane.
Yeah, stay in your lane. Yeah. Yeah, for real. Like, but you know, specialize, become known for that, and it grows quick because the community that surrounds that niche
Right.
The ball starts rolling.
They'll talk and it'll spread. Word of mouth is always a good thing, man. And like I said, I'm at a point to where I can actually choose still and scale.
Yeah.
From there, I'm not too big to make that change.
Right.
So.
And if most of us are honest, we're like, man, what's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing repetitively and expecting something different to happen, expecting a different result. Mm-hmm. So you're still, okay, here comes the bills, and then you're like, oh crap, I just made it. Or I gotta call the electric company for another 2-week extension.
Right.
This is like, most of the people that I talk to, unfortunately, in screen printing are like this.
Right.
But what I found to be true is find that niche that you're most passionate about, cars, salons, whatever, other screen printers like we did, and target it, and it will grow. But have a system in place to accommodate that.
Right.
I'll tell you, kind of going backwards on that topic too, there's a lot of people that we turn down because they don't want to submit an order on our website.
Right.
They want to just submit a purchase order in a email. And we don't support that system. That's not part of how we receive orders. We need you to go to our website and submit an order. Some people don't like that, and we've turned down a lot of money because of that.
Right.
But because of the system that we have in place, every time they submit an order online, they can look in the same spot. My team can look in the same spot and accomplish the same goal, and it becomes easy internally to make something happen when it's custom, without the possibility of ruining something or an error, a problem occurring.
Right. And then too, I'm thinking about, finding that niche. Another thing, a good thing about it is, once you start servicing that niche, you're gonna be able to take photos of the work that you're doing for that specific niche, and you'll have a catalog to show for that, because you go to the next person or the next company in that niche, you can actually show them, I did this for, this salon or that salon, and here's the proof of my work through them, and you know what I mean?
And it scales up because they're like, man, I want that. I want my salon to look like that.
Right.
And they did a pretty good job at that. So, I mean, if this is the place to go for printing for salons, then this is the place I feel comfortable here, because he's speaking my lingo. He obviously has a passion in this industry, or her, whatever. And it just, it rolls.
It scales.
It scales. But as far as intricacies of even your logo and all your branding can surround that specific niche to attract
speak to that. It can speak to that niche.
So it's more intentional thinking rather than just saying, hey, I screen print, come and get it, come to daddy.
I screen print for a plethora of companies.
A plethora.
A plethora.
But yeah, kind of pro tip. Bing. That was awesome. Pick a system, design a system around your niche, and it will become scalable quick. You'll see.
That's awesome, man. That's awesome. So, is that it? We got any more to add?
That's all I got on this one, man.
That's all you got, man? Well, I'll say, man, honestly, listen, we're all learning together.
That's it.
And, might be people watching that might be like, duh. But guys, listen, there's somebody watching that needed that.
Yeah.
And there's somebody sitting here that needed that.
Well, obviously, because I'm getting calls.
Mate.
Yeah, I get calls all the time of people asking that.
Right.
Like, what are you doing right? Well, first off, I humbly accept that and I appreciate that.
Right.
But I have a bunch of hurdles myself to accomplish, and I'm chasing somebody else's tail, just like some are mine, and that's fine. We're all on a goal together. It's cool to become better. But there's a need for that. That's for sure.
Cool, man. Wow, guys, don't forget, subscribe. This was awesome. I know it was a serious, a little more serious combo. Hey, that's it. Cheers.
Cheers. Don't forget to subscribe.
Smash that notification bell, wherever it's at.
I think it's down here.
As always, y'all, thanks for watching. Until next time. Peace. feel like I was just in counseling.